So, first thing is, Reini Mekaja asked me, the Limon Torah is Aveno, the fellows that people are meeting, so I can also the Gresham Hashavan Tzema. The Frat, the Aveno HaKodesh, Sadik Yisrael, Olam Nachal, Never, Mekar, Chachma, Aveno Nachal, and Fei Yosfus, Yidag, Aveno HaKodesh, Olam. And the show you learned in Torah Beis, by the Shkashi from Tzadik. In Torah Beis, we learned about connecting to the Tzadik. And from there, rest of the Sitam on Noyed, every Tefillah, every Mitzvah, whatever you can, you do Beis Shkashi, then Tzadik. You can't hurt, but only help. The Rebbe talks about tefillah specifically, especially when I don't know what I'm saying and I'm surrendering. So the way I try to learn Likutei, the way I try to learn with others Likutei, is the first thing is I try to get into the position of Makabel. Try to go into not that I'm trying to take something, I'm trying to receive something. Even though you would say every time you learn Torah, you're trying to receive. There's receiving from a position of taking, and there's receiving from a position of receiving. What is it? This shot is a part of not this myself, right? So I didn't really learn the Pasha. I'm looking for something to know on the Pasha, something inspiring in the Bible. So I look at this Sefer, I look at this Sefer, I look according to the Pasha, and I want to get something, but I'm really taking because I'm not positioning myself. I'm looking for something because I want to find something in Pasha about this Master. But when you learn the Rebbe Nachman's Torah, it doesn't make a difference which Torah we're learning. It's not about the Pasha. It's about my life. It's about how do I change my life. It's about avoidance. It's about awareness of understanding what is it that I'm challenged with. What is it that how can I be proactive about not meeting my challenge, being differently, and then when I do meet my challenge, how do I get out of my challenge? And if I fail in my challenge, what do I do then? And Rebbe Nachman has all these stages. He goes through all the stages. He gives you medicine proactively, how to save yourself from challenges, that those type of challenges you shouldn't even be challenged, or that you could detect the challenge right away and be able to sideswipe the challenge. Or if I'm in the challenge, I should be able to be victorious in that challenge. Or if I fail the challenge, how do I fix it? Rebbe Nachman is all about fixing. It's almost not a Torah Likutei, where he doesn't talk about a problem and a challenge. It doesn't talk about how to fix the problem. So the first verb here is surrender. I am surrendering to this tzaddik for this moment, for this time. And when I do this, I don't know. I did not look at the Torah before. I've learned this Torah already before in life, but I didn't because I didn't know which Torah to learn. Is it Torah? Hey, Torah. I said, you know something? I'm coming in together with everybody. We're going to learn the Torah together because the Rebbe is going to teach us the Torah today. As if I never heard the Torah before. I'm going to learn something today together. With Beis Hashem, we are going to learn something together. And we're going to be able to apply it in my life today, tomorrow. And like you said, we're going to chazor. It's not just the chazor of the limud of the Torah, the fascination of the Torah, but the chazor of how do I apply this? How do I internalize this? How do I change? How do I live my life differently tomorrow than I live my life today? So when I say Hareini Mekasha, I'm going to the place of surrender. Rebbe, talk to me. I know that you're going to talk to me. You always talk to me. And I'm opening my brain and I'm opening my heart. Help me get close to Hashem. So that's the introduction to Torah. Zog the Heilige Rebbe. Vayoyma Hashem el Moshe K'ros Yoshua. This pasuk is a pasuk in the Torah where the Eibishter is telling Moshe Rabbeinu, it's time. It's time for you to depart. K'ros Yoshua. Bring Yoshua because it's time. I told you about this in last week's parasha. We spoke with the but now I'm telling you, this is the real time. This is the time. And Yeshua ben Nun, this is all in the bar. You have it in Pinchas and then you have it in the end of the bar. So this pasuk is talking about Moshe Rabbeinu passing over the torch to Yeshua, but physically passing over the torch to Yeshua. And as you learned in the previous story, the Rebbe's derech is it starts off with either a Maimah Chazal or a pasuk, and then he goes away from the pasuk completely until the end, and he builds a whole building of different things. And then, if you stop the map of the Torah, the pasuk fits in a different way. It's not just that it fits in; it's a nice word, but all of a sudden you have a new message in what happened. Then that's happening now. That's another very important thing. Always to understand that even when the Rebbe talks about something, he's always talking to you. It's not like he's telling you this is just there. If it was avoided for the tzaddik, we didn't have to give the Moharan for us. Everything here, even when it seems like it's not talking, it has to be taught. So how? Let's see how this Torah is going to be talking to us. The mind was by that the heart was by that. This is a very loaded statement. I want to briefly explain it. I would like to try to go through Aleph and Beis, just tight, review the map, then start to analyze with your permission. Since it's just me and you. So Rebbe says here that you have to minimize your own coverage and maximize the coverage of Hashem. We're going to talk about this. Believe me, just this statement alone, we could have a whole share on this sentence. Of the mind, the word, the habits, we can stay on this for the whole share. But I want to progress and try to bring a few points out. Someone who chases covet is not going to merit Void Delikim. So we'll see what Void Delikim is. But what will he get? He's going to get covet Malachim. Now, what does it say about Void Malachim? The honor of king. Void Malachim, the honor of the king is Kakordom. You have to investigate. Look, the Rebbe, what does it mean Kakordom? Everybody investigates after this person, and they ask, "Me who's who is this person, and what is this person?" They get such honor. They fight with him. They said, "You're not right for this covenant." Look what's going on in the world right now. You can just see it right now with Donald Trump, right? Right? You see, it's kapar on every single type of thing that they could try to find. Ain't a royal coming there, not right to this go. Right? Someone who runs away from this covenant. Now, what does it mean he runs away from the covenant the Rebbe is expressing? Running away from covenant is being a mind before that's why it's minimizing your own covenant and not being before the mokum. And to be mad before the mokum. As I was like the covenant of the king, then he's doing it to the real covenant, which is covenant of the king, the garden covenants. For us, ain't been a other talk about kavodah, and then nobody investigates his covenants in royal, in love, if he's royal, if he's not. All of them, this person says kavodah the king has to do. The honor of God is him. Has to do. What does it mean? Has to do. Rebbe said he also locked her on a covenant because you're not allowed to investigate and delve into this covenant. So review. There's two types of covenant. There's Kvoid Malachim and there's Kvoid Elikim. Kvoid Malachim, the honor of kings, is a covenant that's Chakvoidah. Chakvoidah meaning everybody's asking. He's not worthy of this offer. And then there's Void of the King that's Hasned of him. That Void of the King is a void covered, and nobody asks awesome. Understand? You also lack on covenant. If this is Void of the King, it's a Void Rookie, godly covenant. How do you know now what is Void of the King and what's Void of the King? Again, a very simple thing. Someone, the mission says, someone who's right the fact covenant is considered Void Malachim. Someone who's covered is considered Void of the King. Now, what determines what's considered by covered and right of Hakakov? So Rebbe gave us a phrase in the beginning to tell us someone who's been made before the Atzmai and married before the Makper. Seems like it's two avoiders. He has to be made with, we'll talk about it afterward. He has to be made with his own covenant and married before the Makper. That is someone who is running away from the covenant. Because he doesn't want the covenant for himself, he wants only Kvoid Elikim. All he wants is to be mad with the Kvoid Elikim. You're not, because you're giving it to the Eibush. So you're asking a question, good question. That I think there's a way to ask it. If I'm being mad with Kvoid Elikim, I'm automatically being mad with the Kvoid Elikim. Because how can I be mad with Kvoid Elikim without being mad with the Basket? No. So, but the Rebbe seems to say it's two avoiders. There's a void of being mad, but there's a void of being mad. Now, you're asking a different person, what does it mean to be mad? If I don't know So Rebbe's teaching has to double different. Rebbe's telling you has to double is not that I don't know. It's that when I'm in this now, just could be what the saying is later on. Torah will come to it's a good. First of all, it's a good deal. The question is a good question, but let's go on the simple surface level without going into depth of it. Master double here, the Rebbe is telling you is usher lakber alakot. And when I see Koyda Lakim, I am now to be fighter on this cup. So it's not that it's hostile, but it is. They see later that you're right also. Well, let's wait. So again, that's Sifal. Now let's go on to see Beis, and then we'll come back to Sifal. The EF of this Koyda Lakim is allow you to chew. And it's impossible to get to this covenant of Koyda Lakim, like you said. How do I get to this Koyda Lakim? The only way for me to get to Koyda Lakim is through chew. The Ikra Tshuva. Now, these are big words. Yes, this word. Every Breslau person knows this word. Every single Breslau person knows this word because Rebbe is saying Ikra Tshuva. It's a big question. The Rambam gives us Hilchos Tshuva. Tells us Charot Alava Kabbalah Nosid Achi Yivod Olav Yidei Taluma Yishlo. Here the Rebbe is saying no. Ikra. I got a whole new remedy, a whole new recipe for Tshuva. Ikra Tshuva. You want to know Ikra Tshuva? Yishma Tzed Yoinai Yidoin V'Lush. Here was his humiliation. The shame. Yidoim v'yishtoy. What's the difference between Yidoim and Yishtoy? So what does it mean? Very. Yishtoy is just being quiet, but I'm still angry inside. I'm still not accepting it. Yidoim are the accepted. Not only, so the question is that why is it Yidoim v'yishtoy? It should be Yishtoy v'Yidoim. It should be first Tikva and then Yidoim. No. Ikra Tshuva, Yishma B'Zyoinoi, that you should hear your B'Zoyin, and the first thing is right away. Even though I don't feel acceptance yet, I know it's from you, Hashem. I know it's not my wife. I know it's not my children. I know it's not my friend. I know it's not the environment. I'm feeling shame and humiliation. And I know it's coming from you. And that is, the big question. Yishma B'Zyoinoi, that means I have to wait. The question is like this: in order for me to do tshuva, I have to wait for you to shame me. How could it be? How could it be? Ikra tshuva. I have to, in order for me to do tshuva, so I need you to shame me in order for me to do tshuva. If you've been dying, Rebbe said, he hears his own shame. And soon we're going to talk about it. I want to get to it, but when a person hears his own shame, how do you hear your own shame? We're going to talk about it. What does it mean to hear your own shame? Leave that, we're going to get to it too. Someday we're going to have a fight. Now we go to a little Kabbalah. We're just going to say the word. There is no covenant needs a fault. There's no covenant without a fault. What does that mean? Needs a husband. A kaf, and kaf represents keser. And keser, we know, is Shem Ekel. Let's just accept. Okay? Covenant, there's no covenant without a fault. What does that mean? It's a Lashon Hazorah. Well, by the way, I don't know. First of all, I don't pretend to know. I don't. So I'm going to say it, but maybe we could say just something to be able to satisfy us to go back there. But covenant there is no covenant. There's no covenant without a fault. The ois chav represents Kes. Kes is the highest sphere. And Keser is the shape of Ekia. And Ekia is Allah Zaman the Mahab. Ekia means I am ready to exist. Not I exist, I am ready to exist. There's a Lashon Hazor. Allah Zaman Mahab. So says the Rebbe. He's explaining why is the tshuva, it could tshuva. Yishma B'Zyoinoi Yidoim v'Yishtoy. I'll explain to you. Because covered, there's no covered without chav. And the chav is Keser. And Keser is Ekia. Because he has tshuva. Because Ekia is tshuva. What is tshuva? Tshuva is, I want to start again. I want to come back to you. I want to return to you. Allah Zaman L'Meheb. I am ready to exist. That means till now I was a Balavera. And now I want to do tshuva. So tshuva means I want to exist. I am not living. So maybe I was existing, but I'm not living. I mean, Zaman L'Meheb. I am ready, prepared to exist and live. So now the Rebbe is explaining. Point about tshuva. Before a person does tshuva, he's not really in Havai. As if he was not even put into this world. There's no Havai. Because it's better off not being born than being born. When a person comes to purify himself, the last is tshuva, to do tshuva. Then he goes into a new category called Ekia, which is Hainu Because till now, when he was in Aveira, he had no Avaya. And now that he wants to do tshuva and he wants to purify himself, now he's saying, okay, now I'm ready to exist. I'm ready to exist because living is only living ruchni, spiritual. If I'm not living spiritual, if I'm not living with connection to Hashem, then I'm existing. I'm not living. I'm alive. The animals are also alive. But if I want to be in Havaya, if I want to be present, if I want to live the moment, not the past, and not the future. They say about, where I heard this about the front. They say like this, we say, in front of me and from behind me. What about where I am? What is in front of me? How about you protect me from the sun in front of me? What about where I am? Where I am, doesn't that have a place? He said, I don't remember from who he said it from, but he said like this, that because the Yetzer only has power on the future and on the past. To tell you, you know what you did yesterday? Who are you? And you know, tomorrow, who are you fooling? Tomorrow you think you're going to change? It's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. I'm going to get you. But he has no power in the present. So he's always distracting you with the past and the future. But he has no power in the present. When a person, and that's why the Eitzah is, you tell the Eitzah, not now. In an hour? Okay, I'll meet you in an hour. An hour, not now. Not now.
He's already present.
What?
He's already present.
If you live in the present, you have a power over him in the present. The only power he has is that he doesn't let you listen to the present. He's always making you live. Do we live in the present? 99% of the people, we do not live in the present moment. We're either worried about tomorrow or we're fatigued about something that happened yesterday. But living in the present, we don't have. But if a person is able to live in that present moment and accept the present moment, whatever he's going to go through in the present moment, that's Havaya. That's so I'm not Ekia, is I will exist. Havaya, Shem Havaya, is I exist. But Ekia is I'm not Zamanamari, I'm ready to exist. Now, the Shem Ekia, Havaya is in the Bria. Ekia is before the Bria. Havaya is in the kid. I forgot how good I think. This is not my forte, but Ekia is before the Bria, Havaya is in the Bria, and I forgot, maybe Shem Elikif, I don't remember, it was in the future, I think Elikif. You had it in Torah Dalu. Elikif Hashem Haladova, Bavaya Haladova, Elikif Haladova. That you show them, if there's a call, right? Remember the Torah, when a person knows that everything that goes through happens is for his good, that means he's able to say a bracha on something tragic. Today we make a bracha on good, and dying on something bad. So everything's going to be Atoy V'Ametim. What changes? What changed? Wasn't bad. The problem is we don't have the das to see that the things that are tragic and bad are really not bad. Because there is no bad. Even the most horrible thing that we look at, horror and tragic, the etzem is not bad. When we see the view from the internal view, when we're able to, that's what das is. When you see the view from an internal view, you see there's nothing bad. There's nothing that should only flush. We're looking from the external view. So in the external view, we have a bracha. Okay. So Havaya, going back to the power of Havaya, is the power of presence. Tshuva is, I am ready to become present. I'm not present yet, but I am ready to become present. Because till now, I was not present. And when I was not present, I had no reason to be existing to live in the world. But now that I know some of them, so that's true. I know some of them. Kesem. That is the ending of Kesem. Kesem, which is the highest place of this place of Another Zaman, this place of Ekia. Oh, I want Kesem. It's a crown. Kesem means a crown. It's a lotion of waiting. Hamton. Chinas Chu, which is a bechina of Chu. Like Hazal tell us, Abalataya Messiah. If someone comes to be Messiah himself, Messiah, like they help him. And the Gemara says, Marshall. The effort is a fast. How do they help him? It's someone who comes to buy persimmons. Do you know what a fast is? Persimmons. They tell him, wait. It's like a very good smelling fruit, a persimmon, and they say he comes to buy it, and they say, 1 second, wait a minute, let me go get it for you. How does that? So you see that a kesef is everything is kesef. Because she calls it katar li ze'er ba'achzako. like the pasuk tells us, there's a pasuk in Eve, Katar lizer, wait for me a little bit, the achveko, and I don't know about achveko, we have to look at the title. I think it means, and achveko, and I will show you. In other words, we're learning from him, the Rebbe is telling us, this madrega of tshuva, which is kesed, which is ekyo, which is this place of, I am ready to exist, this is a lashon of hamton. But tshuva comes with patience. A person can't decide. He can make the decision that from now on I'm going to be about tshuva, but it takes time. It's a process. It's not something that just the decision happens in a second. But I know some of them are heavy, but the havaya of the bringing yourself into havaya, that is a process because you have a lot of baggage to uncover. Says the Rebbe. But before the person does tshuva, then this ekya is bastar's fana. It's not he doesn't have the ability to see this part of I am ready to exist. It's called because it's quite about tshuva. Still in Averis. He's not able to see this place. Because he didn't do any kind of preparation to live in this world. Astar's Pnei Ekya Gematria Dak. And the Astar of Pnei Ekya is Gematria Dak. Look at the heuristic, the star, Pirish. Shem Ekya will be Gematria Dak. The backwards pronunciation of Ekya is Gematria Dak. Come over. Hi. You know what the Shem Ba'achurayim is? There are many ways to say Hashem's name. All the names Shem Hashem. One of the ways is called Achurayim. Why is it Achurayim? Because they always go back to the previous letter. So if it's Aleph, and then hey, Yud K, like Ekya. So Aleph. So I'm writing out Aleph, Aleph Hey, Yud, Aleph Hey, Yud K. So I'm always going back to the previous letters. That's called Achurayim. So if you spell out the Shem Ekya, Aleph Hey, Yud, Aleph Hey, Yud Hey, and you calculate it all together, it's Gematria 44. Shekhoyzim both on long, but Gematria down. That's Gematria of down, which is 44. And that's the meaning of going back. That's what's called the Hastar. The Hastar of Ekya is what's hidden, the oases that are hidden behind Aleph Hey, Aleph Ekya, Aleph Hey, Yud Hey. The oases that are hidden behind it, that is the oases of Aleph Hey. That is called Rastar's Pnei Ekya. That's Gematria 44. The late still is slow. I'm sorry. Now let's go back to the what is that? What's the dam? Shvit is done of his young. Shame, as I'll tell us, is Shvit is done. Said by Tommy. When I think you learns that. I think learns that from Tom. But she didn't want to be mounted to Yehuda and tell him that it was your trying them. She said to me, I said, is not seen it. Wherever this belongs to, because she didn't want to be mounted to Chaim. The person he's considered shaykhim. Why? The person gets embarrassed. What color does he turn? But the damim, that's the shaykhim's dam. So shaykhim's damim of this yonis is that. Hashem, like the pasuk said, u'boizai yekol. I'm not sure what the pasuk. I have to look up the pasuk. I don't know the text of the pasuk. U'boizai yekol. We'll look it up. The next week we'll have looked it up. Because the blood that's in the chamber of the left chamber of my heart, which the left chamber of my heart, that is the place where the Torah lives. Like the pasuk tells us, the lave ksil is smut. The ksil is the Yitzhar, and the lave ksil is the smut. The left part is the part of the ksil, which is the Yitzhar. So when the blood is still in there, the Yitzhar is covered. He's got me years and years, 56 years. He's got me in his trap. He has me sucked into his place. So the blood, I have bad blood that's streaming through, circulating through my body. So now the Abish is sending me bizyonis and shlichus dom. He's ever going to say these bizyonis and shlichus dom, they are here to help me, even though I am not in tshuva right now. About you, that particular is what's the ticket? How do I get out of this trap of this blood? So you have a particular she has dam and doim. Dam and doim are the same letters. It's different Nakudas. Right? So you should change that into doing. You said before, this accepted. That he should be from the people who listen to their shame and they don't answer. They should not be medactic on the fact that he was shamed. He's covered with shame. He's covered with shame. And when he's Mekayim this acceptance to the Eibishter, he takes his pain and shame to the Rebbe. As I could have gone, that the Eibishter will take all the things away from him. All the kalal, like David Melech says, until I'm doing Hashem is by the Lord. If you're going to accept the Eibishter, which means you're going to take your pain to the Rebbe. And you're going to say, Rebbe, my shame is from you. My shame is not from them. This is you that shame. This is you that wants it because you're doing it as a gift to me. You're giving me humiliation. I'm going to tell you. I forgot which wrestling one wrestling was, and he said, if we would know, maybe the Rebbe said, maybe it's a secret from the Rebbe. I don't remember where I heard it. If we would know the value of shame, we'd be begging for more shame. Because the shame is healing. Shame is, when we take shame and we accept shame, it's healing. We're going to explain to them. I don't know if we're going to get to that today. But we have that is the Nibi Cholal the Kitab who comes to imagine where my heart is Cholal the Kitab. I know days that the Smayit of Dasham that's going to minimize the damage, the black change of the heart. The Zebachim is Misas the Kodi like that. So that's how you marry the Kodi like him, but you don't say, yeah, I'll tell you that. You have done to me, that would be shut. You are, that's how you be Makabin. So you see that Kodi, the Yitzhar, those who kind of made us a kind of love as the Yitzhar. Shall tell us that you've gone the Yitzhar. So just a quick review. The Basel that he should not have either. Why? It's impossible not to answer. Let me just tell you, the first place to start working on this avoidance, your wife. Your wife, all the time, she doesn't mean I said this. Let me tell you like this. Let me explain. The woman is a makabel, right? And you're the mashpia. The man is the mashpia. The woman is the makabel. What am I supposed to give the woman? Spiritual, emotional, and physical. Those are the three components I'm obligated. You're obligated. We took that. That's just me. We took on ourselves the Shabbat. What are we providing? We're providing for them physically. Food, clothing, and we're also providing them emotional. And we're also providing them spiritual. We're giving them the spirituality, emotional, and physical. Nefesh, shiur, neshama, if you want to call it differently. What? Oh, 1 second. Let's just start with. Just take it for a thing, and we can go and dissect each thing. So the woman knows that she's supposed to be receiving three components. If she's not receiving one of them, any one of them, doesn't make a difference what. She's not happy. She feels void. She does not express herself. She's a good woman. She suppresses it. And she's not happy her whole life. And she's a bad woman, or could be the opposite. Acting out, and you don't know what's flying. She's always hanging her hook on the wrong hook. Because she's going to say, you didn't do this. I did do this. But you know what you're doing. She's not using the story. She's telling you that I'm not getting something from, and she knows the alarm. The alarm goes on. Boom, 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 boom. The alarm goes on. I am not received. So what do? We defend. What do? Defend, especially. We're talking on a good life. Where I didn't do what you say. What? We defend. First thing is, what do? not what it was supposed to be. First thing is what we're going to do to defend. To defend ourselves. You say, the more you defend, you don't want to be stupid. Saying this, I didn't do this, and you found your way out like we will not. It's still not happening. You were right, you lost the fight. You won the war, you won the battle, you lost the war. Because the answer is not happening. She's not convinced. You didn't change her. You didn't convince her because she knows 100% you're not doing your job. And your job is to provide for me all these pieces. But if she acts out, right? Which I'm sure every one of us knows. Every woman acts out. Every woman at some point acts out. And we accept humiliation. Why do we accept humiliation? Because you understand that Shechina Medaberes and Torah. I'm talking like big words, like as if I know this. I don't have. Believe me, I'm working on this every single day. But Shechina Medaberes me work right. Maybe it's this boat through her, and it's not her that's humiliating. But it's like that's humiliating me through her. And I understand that this humiliation is actually for my benefit. Because the reason why I need this humiliation is because I was not saying bad and I want to do tshuva. And in order for me to do tshuva, I need to let go, like the Rambam says. I need to get rid of this urge of each person's urge of whatever thing that I'm running to. And we're all addicts, and we're all running to something to be able to escape to. Even Torah. Even Torah, we're escaping. We're escaping because we don't want to sit there and accept the humiliation. The humiliation is a gift. No, I'm saying big words. I wish I could be doing what I'm saying, but that's what it comes out from it. That being the issue. Now, the biggest madrig is that you should be able to hear it from yourself. What does it mean to hear it from yourself? How long do we have, by the way? Like what? 2 minutes. So let me finish all like this. There are 2 B's, and there are 2 U's, and there are 2 U's. This needs a bigger B of maybe next week we'll go into it more. There's the real me, and there's the pretend me. We're fighting with each other. What's the real me? The real me is my chelik al-kaji man that wants to serve Hashem. The pretend me is my ego. All the things that conditioned me and layered me and developed me, and the people that when I see you and when you see me and when I see you, who do we see? We're seeing this pretend person. That in the pretend person there is some real person in that pretend person. If I start recognizing that my ego is my enemy and not my friend, and what is ego? Ego is edge God out. I'm pushing God. It's me. Here is the place where it's me. What about me? What about me? There's always a what about me. Yes, there's Hashem. Hashem is here. Hashem is there. Hashem is truly here. But what about me? There's still. I was driving and a car tried to cut me off. You're going to show me? I blocked him. Why? I don't even know the guy. Why? Because he wanted to be mashpil me and I wasn't ready to accept him. Afterwards, I went to his Beis. I said, wow, I'm so sick. I don't even know the person. My ego is so big. My ego is so big that I can't accept that a driver, with a school bus driver, translating means something to me. That I couldn't. I'm not ready to accept my humiliation. I'm not ready. But if I start recognizing my humiliation, I should start seeing in myself other me, this me that's ugly, angry, little child me that doesn't want to give in to the Shvatza lady that tried to cut me off. This ugly me, I accept it. Yidoin, Ikra children, Yishma is doing it.